my parents didn't want me to run on the trail alone, and so I had to wait for a little bit at the car, and I was like, oh, I gotta keep running. But I had to wait for a little bit, but one of my other friends showed up, and so I ran with her. She ended up running 4 laps with me, 3 or 4 laps, which was incredible. It was so great. It was amazing to see just like the determination. And once you get to the point where you're kind of hurting, it's where you realize what people are made of.
You are listening to Feminine Will, powered by Sweatseat. I'm Andrea McKee. This is a show about women who choose athleticism, adventure, and bravery every day. Thanks for listening. Hello, and welcome to the show today. As always, a new episode every Monday. If you didn't hear last week's episode, you should definitely go check it out. It's with Shelby. She's a truck driver and goes on tons of adventures through truck driving. She was doing pre-med before she decided to switch over and just do the things she'd always had a mild obsession with. And now she is a YouTube sensation. So go check out Happiness by the Mile. And if you never found trucking interesting before, you probably will now. This week, I have 17-year-old Mazey on the show who did a 50-miler in February. What astounded me as I talked to her was that she did a 35-mile trail race when she was 16, and she'd only run 8 miles to prep for that. Luckily, after doing that, she got a little more serious about wanting to do a 50-miler race and got a training plan. But this story is pretty cool. It's fun to hear her talk about her family, how supportive her parents are, and now she got into it because she had friends who invited her to do it. But first, a quick word from the sponsor, Sweatseat. Sweatseat is a seat cover that I invented for the adventurous and athletic woman. It is compact, so you don't have to see it when you're not using it. It's waterproof, so it is 100% going to protect your seat. It doesn't matter how sweaty or how wet you are from going to the beach or the pool. You are going to protect your seat 100%. And it has a headrest because I sweat on my head. I don't know about you, but I do. It also stays in place, and you can just throw it in the wash machine when you're done, when you feel like it needs to be washed. So it's really super convenient. It's going to protect your seats. No more sweaty bums or wet bums on your seats. And when you go to resell your car, your seats are going to be in a lot better condition, and you're going to get a little more money out of it. So think ahead. One exciting thing about Sweatseat is that I just built my brand ambassador program. So if you're interested in making a little bit of extra cash on the side, you should go check it out. Go to sweatseat.com, SWETSEAT.com. If you are interested in becoming a brand ambassador, here's a few things you'll get. For every sale that you make, meaning you'll get your own code, you just have to go fill out an application on the website. I'll send you a code, and your friends, family, and followers will get 15% off of their purchase. You could even use it yourself and get the 15% off. Regardless, however many times the code is used, you get 10% of the sale. This is not an MLM. This is a way for me to incentivize people to get the word out about Sweatseat. This is a way for me to be like, thank you so much for sharing your love of Sweatseat, and I want to repay you by giving you part of the sale. All my products are made locally here in Roswell, Georgia. All the fabric is made in America. These are handmade products, locally made. I am super proud of the design, and there are 3 styles with one new one coming out in June, which I'm super stoked about. If you haven't checked out the neon line or the Swexy line, or maybe you love the classic, just plain and simple, then you should definitely go check it out, sweatseat.com, and see if you want to be a brand ambassador, because anybody can be, as long as you are active on Facebook or Instagram, then you can be a brand ambassador. Go to the website, fill out an application, and hey, be as rambunctious or as casual as you want about spreading the word. I am excited about this, and I'm super grateful for all the people who love my product and love getting the word out about it. And this really is just like a formal way of saying thank you, and that I really appreciate all my customers and everything they're doing to help grow my business. And so if you consider yourself an athletic or adventurous person, then please hop on the website and see what we have going on. Now for my conversation with Mazey. Mazey, tell us about your background, where you grew up, and what kind of got you to the point of running your first 50 miler. And take as long as you want with that question.
That's a hefty question. All right. So we moved around a little bit. I was born in Washington. We moved to a couple different states, and my siblings were all born in different states except for the two last ones. They're born here. And we've been here for 13 years now. We were public schooled I was public schooled for 10 years. And then recently we actually moved to homeschooling. And that actually kind of gave me the time to be able to start running, because before I did track and cross country, but it was never anything super long like this. And so once we started homeschooling, I kind of needed something to do because I wasn't in track or cross country anymore. And I was like, I got to do something to get rid of all this like excitement and all this energy, right? And so what's really cool is in our neighborhood, there's a lady who actually used to run a lot of marathons, and she trains people as well. And so I've been running with her a little bit, and that's been really cool to hear her story and her tips. But one of the biggest things is in our church, we have two guys, and they have run 100-milers.
Wow.
Yeah, they're amazing people, and to hear their stories is really cool too. But they got my friends and I excited because I have these other three friends, and they both kind of got into ultra running at the same time I did, and so we were kind of this group, which was really fun. It's really fun to do it with a group, and excuse me. So I guess it started with one of the 100-miler guys. Every year on his birthday in August, he actually puts on this night run called Quanah Hill Massacre. And it's at Quanah Hill Trails, which is in kind of by Weatherford area. And basically you start at 9 o'clock at night, and you can run, you can hike, you can walk however long you want through the entire night, and just go as long as you want. Some people will do one loop of the trail. Some of them will do multiple loops. It just depends on what you want to do. And so one of my friends, he was really getting into ultra running as well. And so he decided for his birthday, he wanted to kind of do this co-birthday thing with the 100-miler guy. And so he invited a bunch of us to come and do it with him.
Wow.
And yeah, he was really the instigator, to be honest, because he kind of pushed us, and he was like, hey, so what are you going to do? What's your goal going to be, right? And the previous year, he had actually run it before and did really well. And so our goal was to do 5 laps, which was going to be 35 miles.
Wow.
And yeah, and that was crazy to me. I'm like, how can anybody run that long? That's insane. Like, you're going to hurt your body. And I just thought it was completely crazy. But he encouraged us to do it, and I was like, oh, I'll probably do 2 or 3 laps, get a good, I'll try 14. That'd be a good number, right? And he's like, oh no, you got to do 5 laps with me. And so I was like, okay, all right, I will do 5 laps with you.
How many miles had you done up to this point? Like on a run, like how much had you done?
Consistently.
At one time.
Well, the longest run I'd ever done before that was probably like a 5-miler, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, and it wasn't
so big
very
difference.
Long, so
it's not like you'd done a marathon or half marathon or anything like that.
No, it was kind of just blindly jumping. Yeah, and so we got all trained and got really, really excited about this. And one of my other friends got into it, and we invited this other friend who just moved in, and he's amazing too. Like I could go on for ages about these 3 people. They're amazing, and they're so fun to be around,
I love being
really
surrounded
cool.
by just friends who totally uplift and inspire you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's cool because having a group that's interested in that, which is hard to find among people
Yeah.
because most people are like, no, I'm not.
Well,
that
because
long.
they're like your age, right? I mean, not the 100-milers. Are they a little older or the one?
Yeah, but the 4 are my age, and so it's really cool
Wow.
to have them with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we trained for this, and it was kind of we weren't really sure what we were doing because it was our first time. I mean, the one guy kind of knew it because he had done it the year before, but we got a lot of tips from the 100-miler 2 people, and they really helped us kind of get prepped for it and know what to expect.
And how long? Like, how long was the prep time? Did they say, "Hey, next week we're doing this," or did they say, like, in 3 months we're doing this?
I think we practiced for. I think we started about June, so we had about 3 months, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, so it wasn't like,
Yeah.
okay, next week we're doing this, you got to do it with me kind of thing. It was,
Yeah,
they
no.
gave you a little bit of time. And just to be clear, you're 17 and your friends
Yes,
are
ma'am.
like about the same age.
Yes, ma'am.
Cool.
Yeah. So we kind of leapt into it, not sure what we were expecting, and it wasn't like a workout routine. It was like, hey, do y'all want to go running today? Sure, let's go running today. That sort of thing. It wasn't very strict. And so race day came, and so we ran it. 2 of them weren't able to run the whole thing with us because they had other things come up. I think one of them had a cross country race or something like that, and so the other 2 weren't able to do it. But me and the other guy who wanted to do it for his birthday, we did 35 that day, and that was just the moment. I was like, oh, this is the coolest thing.
Oh my
I got so
goodness.
excited.
That is cool. So it gave you a buzz. It gave you like excitement to kind of think
Yeah,
about what you wanted
yeah.
to do next. And this was last June. So were you 17 at the time or 16?
16.
Okay. And then what were some of the tips that the 100-miler guys gave you when they're like, okay, in 3 months we're going to be doing this race. Here's some things to keep in mind.
One of the biggest ones was lots of food and water because I didn't realize you drank and ate so much on the trail. I thought it was just kind of you just drank like you were running a 3-miler, you know? I didn't realize you had to supplement so much. That was a big thing. Another one was getting trail runs in to make sure you have that time on your feet, and to kind of break it up into different kinds of runs, not necessarily the same amount every single day, and to have kind of like a rest day in the middle. So I don't know. There were lots of different things.
And so the most
that was,
so by the time you got to the race 3 months later, what was your longest distance in your training? Oh, did you catch that
say
question?
it again.
So by the time
I
you got,
didn't know.
no, that's okay. I think we had a technology outage. So by the time you got to the race, how long had you? What was your greatest distance during training?
I think 8 miles.
So you weren't
Yeah,
necessarily the lady. So you were running with this woman who did marathons and stuff, but you weren't actually thinking, okay, I'm like training as if I were running a marathon on a trail. You were just kind of running and hoping that you were running enough.
Well, this lady I didn't meet actually until a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
And so I didn't even know her then. Well, I knew of her, but I didn't know her personally, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't really know how much we were supposed to train.
Yeah.
We just kind of ran whenever we wanted to, and we would run the trails a lot. And we had heard that you're supposed to go a lot slower pace, and so we were trying to hit like a 14-minute pace to 12-minute pace, kind of just a lot slower.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, don't get me wrong, it was fun, but we were total amateurs. And
Well, you were new to
still
this,
learning.
and you didn't necessarily know what questions to ask. And it sounds like
Yeah.
maybe there wasn't anybody necessarily there to train with you or to be like getting you from here, we want to do this, to okay, now we're actually doing it.
Yeah, it was just more of a fun thing we wanted to do together.
Yeah. And so so tell me about, because that just blows my mind that you ran 8 miles. So I want to know exactly, how did the race go the day of? And your goal was 35 miles that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so how did it
Um,
go? When did you start? What was
I
it like?
yeah, I was really nervous before. um, but the biggest thing, well, for one, said a big prayer at the beginning because I was
Uh-huh.
really nervous. That was probably the biggest thing, honestly. It was like throughout all of everything, that's my one greatest tip is just to say a prayer and rely on Heavenly Father because He's definitely a huge part of it.
Cool.
Um, yeah, but it started and everybody's there. It's just kind of a lot of different families, some ultra runners, some not. And it's really cool because it's just a really cool community. Everybody's there having fun. We have some food there on the table that everybody can eat. And then once it gets dark, about 9 o'clock, they took a big group picture trying to fit everybody in the camera. and and then the guy who runs 100 milers, whose birthday it was, he would kind of say a little message, and then you were off. We just started running, and I think the first lap I ran with a group of people. It was probably 8 of us, and it was just a bunch of our friends, like the four of us who are actually into ultra running, and then just kind of some other friends that had wanted to join too, and that he had challenged to join us, and so that was a blast. It was so fun to run through the woods at night and with all my buddies and with my family, and I think my brother was actually hiking with his Boy Scout troop, and so it was cool to run past him and he would cheer us on and I'd be like, "Woo, let's
Cool.
go!" Yeah, that was fun. And I love night running too. It's a different experience than day running. It's just a blast. It's so much fun.
Oh, cool. What do you love
And
about it? Because I know it has its own set of challenges. You know, you don't see as
yeah,
well, so there's more risk of getting hurt.
yeah. I guess just the adventure of it.
Mm.
You don't know what's coming. So it's
Yeah.
just fun to run and see the stars. It's cool. So yeah, we ran for a bit, and I think the second lap we kind of split up a little bit more. People had to go home. The two other guys ran ahead, and my parents didn't want me to run on the trail alone, and so I had to wait for a little bit at the car. And I was like, "Oh, I gotta keep running," but I had to wait for a little bit. But one of my other friends showed up, and so I ran with her and this other guy, who I was really impressed with because I don't think he had run a bunch, but he made a ton of miles that night. It was amazing, and I was super impressed. And the friend that ran with me, she ended up running, I think, 4 laps with me, 3 or 4 laps,
Wow.
which was incredible.
Which
It
is
was
each
so
lap is
great.
7 miles, right?
Yeah, 7 point something.
Okay.
Yeah, and so it was amazing to see just like the determination. And once you get to the point where you're kind of hurting, um, it's where you realize what people are made of, and you can see
Mm.
that they're hurting, but that they just push. And at one point, she just like darted ahead. I was like, "What? Where did all this energy come from?" So
And when
great.
did you start hurting?
Um, Probably third lap, but it wasn't really like a hard hurt. It was more like, oh, I'm sore, yeah, but this is fun, I guess, because I really like spending time with people, and so having somebody to run with me was really great. And so I got to
Mm.
talk to her, and we had some cool conversations and different things that I didn't know about her previously. So that was really cool. Got to know
Mm.
her really well. But yeah, so we ended up going. I think I ran 4 laps at that point, and then she'd had to go to work, and I was going on no sleep. But the third lap, I had told her, okay, if you run one more lap with me, I'll take you to work early in the morning, okay? So she's like, fine, I'll go with you. So we ran one more lap, and then I drove her over to her work, which is about I don't know, maybe 20 minutes away. And I was going on like zero sleep. Alden, or my brother, was in the car with us, and after I dropped her off, because she actually fell asleep in the car beside me as I was bringing her home. But I dropped her off, nick of time, and then we had to stop by the gas station real quick because my car was low. And Alden told me as he was getting gas, in about the 3 minutes that he got gas, I had fallen asleep.
I bet your body was just exhausted.
Yeah. Um, and then we drove back to the race, and it was getting a little bit hot at that point because I think it was probably I don't know, maybe 9 a.m.
Okay, so you've been
And
going for 12 hours and you've done 4 laps, so about 28 miles?
yeah, yeah, it was a lot slower than other pace, but at that point it was definitely a lot hotter. And so we got back, and my friend had just finished his fifth lap, and so I was so happy for him. He did great, and he actually got a faster time his last lap, which was really cool.
Wow.
He got negative. Really impressive guy, and so I had to do one more lap to get my 35, and it was starting to get hot, and I was like, okay, I gotta get out there. So put on some compression socks, and then he let me use his running vest, and he gave me a speaker, and so I could listen to music while I was running.
Did that help?
And yeah, yeah, definitely. And got out there and then ran, and I think the last mile or two was definitely really tough because my toes started hurting and I couldn't walk on them very well.
Yeah.
But got back to my car, and I think by that time it was probably 90 degrees out. And got back to my car, and he was sleeping in his car waiting for me. And so I was like, I'm done. Then I went in my car and fell asleep.
And so your family
Yeah.
saw you off, but they didn't stay all night. They
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
And
Yeah,
what did your
they cheered us on when we started.
Yeah, cool. And then and what did they say when you what did your parents say when you first told them, "Hey, I want to do this?"
Um, to be honest, I can't remember. I think they're just like, all right, that's a cool goal. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, just supportive
Yeah.
and not really worried
Oh,
about how you were going to do it. Yeah.
yeah, my parents are so great. They give me their 2 cents. Obviously, they're like, be careful, this could hurt you. Obviously, many people have damage by overworking themselves and whatnot, and they gave me their 2 cents. But they're really great parents. They just say, whatever you want to do, we'll support you, and you can go after it, and we'll be there right next to you. And I could say so many things about the 50 miler. They were just my rock during that. That was amazing. They're honestly the people who got me through it.
That's awesome. That's good to hear too, because I think a lot of people listening to the show are parents themselves. So hearing how other parents, encourage their kids to go after the things they're interested in, I think is always something that
Mhm.
that parents enjoy learning about.
Yeah.
So that was last June, or that was last, when was that?
August.
Okay, August. And have you done anything like that since?
No, that was the longest one before the 50 in February.
Okay, so you did a 50 miler this February.
Mhm.
Okay, so now I want to know, after the race, okay, when you finished and you fell asleep in your car, how was recovery after that? How did your body respond to it?
I had no idea that my legs could hurt that bad. I hadn't really built up a bunch of muscle before, and so my legs were pretty spent. But to be honest, I was pretty surprised at how quick your body can recover. And
Mhm.
drinking lots of water, ate some food, rested, lots of stretching out after that, and I think, oh, that was one other thing. We had mustard packets on the trail, and Brother Nelson was telling us a trick that if you eat mustard packets, they actually help with cramps. And
Huh.
so I was eating a mustard packet on this trail, and it was the grossest thing in the whole world. But to be honest, it helped, and so that was one of the things that helped get rid of cramps.
That's funny. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
So after that, you thought, I did 35 miles. I can do 50. I want to
Yeah.
do 50. Was that your next
And
thought? Or did you give yourself time to kind of...
I don't know. I didn't really jump to that
Okay.
automatically. It wasn't really like, oh, I could do a 50 now. It was more like, oh, that was fun. I'm going to do this next year, sort of thing.
Okay.
And I didn't really realize it was out there, sort of thing.
Oh,
I
you didn't
didn't
know
really
like it
know.
was a thing.
Yeah, I didn't realize kind of the whole ultra running community. I
Okay.
didn't realize it was out there, and it's almost like you don't know it's there until you're in it. And when you're in it, you can't get out of it because it's the greatest thing in the world.
Cool. Did you hear Margaret's podcast episode on here? We have 2 episodes that Margaret came on. She's an ultra trail runner. And if you haven't heard those yet, I think you're really going to like them.
I'll have to check them out. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's definitely something for you to check out. She's really amazing. And
That's
especially
cool.
if you're into it, you're going to love what she has to say.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. So you found out about the community how?
Well, it was a lot of the 200 miler guys and my one friend who really likes it, and I don't know, it kind of just we kind of slowly just got into it, lots of running, and we watched some videos online of different people doing ultra runs, which kind of got us excited about it. And he sent me this one that was on YouTube, and it's a documentary about why you should run 100 milers.
Cool.
And that really got me excited. I was like, oh, these people are doing amazing things, and their will is so strong. I wonder if I could do that, sort of thing. And I don't know if I would have done it on my own without having a friend group, because they kind of got me excited about it. They kind of brought the interest in with it, because they started planning and looking at different races. Oh, we could do this one. Oh, we could do this one. And that got me really excited about it, because I wanted to do it with my friends. And just having the experience of doing the Quanah Hill Massacre and how amazing it was, I was like, wow, that would be cool to do a 50 miler. And I'm not really sure when we decided, but my 2 friends, it was the guy who really likes ultra running and my other friend, they decided to do one in December. It was going to be a 50 miler down at Brazos.
Oh,
and
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think it was maybe October at that point, and I didn't think I'd be able to train very well without hurting myself until then. And I was praying a lot about it too, just to make sure, if I should do it or not. And I felt I should do one in February instead. And so I waited till probably November, and I was researching a lot of the different races that are kind of near me in Texas, and found one called Rocky 50 down in Huntsville. And searching that and looking at all the pictures, looking at all the stories. I watched a video on a guy who ran it, and it seemed like a really good starter race for someone who hadn't really done ultras before. It was fairly flat, kind of just some nice rolling hills. It was through the forest. It was piney, which I really liked, because I didn't want kind of like the dry desert. I felt like that'd be a fun run, but I wanted for my first run to be kind of piney and in the woods.
Yeah.
And so I was researching all of that, and for my birthday, I asked my parents if I could do the 50 miler. And so they gave me the money to pay for the 50 miler on my birthday.
Oh, when was your birthday?
October
what?
11th.
Mine's the 10th.
No way! That's so cool.
Okay, yeah, so October 11th. Cool. What a great day.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. So your parents gave you the money on your birthday to pay for the 50 miler, so you registered.
Yeah, and I waited a week. I can't remember why, but I waited a week for something, and then when I got on, they said the wait list was full for the 50 miler actually, and so I was like, oh no, I missed my chance. And so I emailed him real quick, and I called the guy, and I didn't hear back from him for like a week, but he said he would open it for me, and so
oh, that's nice.
he opened it up for me, and I was able to register. Yeah, and get on the race, and so I was signed up, which was really exciting, and I could turn back now.
So, what was the training like for it? How different was your training for the February 50 miler versus the original Massacre Mountain, or whatever you called it, race?
Quanah Hill Massacre. Mm-hmm. It was a lot more serious. Not so much random runs in the middle of the week. I think the biggest helper was definitely having the 100 miler person. He he actually gave me a training schedule.
Oh,
I
nice.
asked him to make me a training schedule because I didn't know how to train for a 50 miler. I had no idea. And so he gave me kind of a basic training schedule, and I told him how many weeks I had until the race, so he wrote it all out for me on an Excel spreadsheet, and it had like every single day I would run this much,
Awesome.
this to recover, that sort of thing. And you slowly built up miles throughout the weeks as you got closer and closer, and did a long run every Saturday, and that slowly got longer. And that was my first experience, so I just stuck to the plan. I didn't really know exactly what I was supposed to do, but I just stuck with his plan because I figured he's pretty experienced. Yeah, so that was the training plan, and my other friend. So the four of us, there's two that did the one in Brazos in December, and then me and the other guy actually decided to do it in February. He wanted to do it with me because he wanted extra time to train as well, and so he was training the same time as me. And to be honest, all four of us were kind of training at the same time because I was training in November and December when they were training as well. So we would go on runs occasionally together, which was really fun.
Yeah. And what did you do anything different with your diet, with what you were eating,
Um,
or were you just kind of focusing
Not
on
really.
what you were doing with your running?
Yeah, I didn't really know if I was supposed to change my diet or if I was supposed to do anything different. I I ate more. I worked on like what I'm supposed to be eating during a run and trying to figure out what worked for my stomach because sometimes your stomach can get upset if you don't try those things out when you're doing practice runs.
Mm-hmm.
And so um, I think the thing that I used a lot was my parents got some metrics bars, and um, they're just power bars, and so I tried those and ate those on the run, and they seemed fine with my stomach, so I figured I'd use those. Um, yeah, I think the one thing that I learned is one of my long runs. It was over at some trails, and I had done a 20 miler the Saturday previous, and then I had like a 15 miler this Saturday to kind of back off a little bit after that harsh one. And I think I got 11 miles, and my foot started cramping up like a Charlie horse,
Mm-hmm.
and it got to the point where I couldn't even walk on it, and I was like, "What in the world is happening to my foot? Like, where did this come from?" And so I called the 100 miler guy's wife because she runs marathons as well,
Okay.
and she's an amazing person too. So I called her and I was like, "Hey, my foot's cramping up. I don't know what to do. What do I do with my foot?" And she told me I was probably deficient on salt, which was true because I had just been drinking water and hadn't really eaten any salty foods the entire run.
Hmm.
And so I stopped by Sonic, and I asked the lady. I was like, "I don't know if this sounds weird, but could I have like 10 mustard packets?" And she came out and brought me a bunch of mustard packets, and I drove home and then ate a bunch of salty foods, and that worked. And I rested my foot for like a week or so, and it kind of went away. And so by that time, it was a lot better. And so that was my first hint that nutrition was a big part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just part of the process. It's kind of learning as you go. And
Yeah, that's what's so fun is that you can just learn all these different things about your body and I don't know, just about life in general because you have so much time to think.
yeah. Yeah. And you said that you don't have any social media.
No,
And
ma'am.
and tell me, is that a family rule or is that something that you just personally intentionally decided not to do?
At first it was a family rule, but as I got older, when I probably did have social media, I just decided I didn't want to. I don't know. I feel like I'd waste time on it, and it kind of make me more self-conscious, or I don't know. Just
Mm.
seeing how it affects other people in my grade. I didn't really want to have it.
Yeah.
Wasn't really good.
And so tell me, like, so you've been homeschooling before COVID-19.
Yes, ma'am.
And was that like a year or two ago you guys started homeschooling?
Yeah, I started my sophomore year,
Okay.
and I'm about to start my senior year. So, yeah.
Awesome. And how has it been going for you? You said that it gave you more time to run. What else has it done for you?
That was a that's another story in itself. That was a huge, huge change for me because it kind of just completely threw away my comfort zone, my world that used to be in. I was completely comfortable in school. I was doing very well. I was friends with a lot of people, and that was just where I felt comfortable, where all my skills lied. And I don't know, it was just I don't like change a lot, and so that was hard for me to learn. But kind of being taken out of that situation, which it was a family decision. We wanted more family time, and we felt we were focusing too much on a singular thing. It was a lot of different reasons, but prayed about it, and my parents were great. They didn't force us to do it. They let us pray about it, and they said, "We'll let you decide. Tell us what your decision is," which I really appreciate because that definitely made me more willing to do it. But I think one day I went down to the creek that's behind our backyard and prayed about it and just felt really, really peaceful. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. um, but yeah, and so that kind of threw us into the whole homeschool thing. And it was all just experimenting, trial and error. First year was insane. Really, we didn't know what we were doing. And so it was a lot of experimenting, trial and error. But it was cool because I started realizing different things that I hadn't realized before. I learned so many lessons. And again,
Like what?
with extra time. There's so many. One of the lessons is how important family is because I would spend a lot of time at school. I was in track, cross country, band, lots of different clubs. And so I was rarely home. And whenever I was in homeschool, that was school. And so I was at home all the time. And I realized how important my family is to me. They've become my best friends. And I still keep in touch with my school friends and my church friends, but my family is I they've just we've become so solid. And you think of the typical family and everything, but now it's honestly like my best friends or my brothers and sisters or my mom and dad. It's so great.
Oh, that's really great. That is really cool.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest lessons. I mean, there's many more, but the biggest one is definitely how important family is.
Mm. And so you then had more time to run too. And so
Yes.
and what else? What else are your interests?
I like learning anything. I just like learning.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
You,
like athletics. I
mm-hmm.
like music. I like school a lot. Just anything you want to throw at me.
Yeah. So you and you play the guitar and the ukulele and what else?
I play piano and percussion as well.
Cool. And what's your favorite of them?
Oh, that is a tough question. I guess it depends on the day. I've been playing piano the longest, so probably piano.
And now do you write songs or do you like to sing cover songs or do you just play or do you sing too?
All of the above.
Cool.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you're 17, which means you're at the end of your junior year now.
Yes, ma'am.
And what do you want to, like, what do you see in your future the next few years?
Well, I'm going to work a lot on entrepreneurship because my dad owns businesses, and so I really like that aspect. Gonna try and go into that maybe. And then I want to go on a mission for my church where you take 2 years off, and you basically go and preach somewhere in the world. And so I want to do that for my 2 years. You have to be 19 to go, at least for girls. And then after I get back, I want to go to BYU in Utah.
Cool. Do you know what you would want to
Yeah.
study? Entrepreneur business maybe or something else?
Yeah, I feel like business would be a really good subject to go into. I highly enjoy STEM subjects: science, technology, engineering, mathematics,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'd really want to incorporate that into my studies or into a business possibly that I do, and then possibly do music and athletics on the side. But I really like that, and then I really like learning how people think. Psychology studies, I think that's really interesting too.
It is.
And yeah, and one of my favorite books is about the different ways that people show love, which I think is amazing. It's the coolest book.
What book is it? What book is it?
The 5 Love Languages.
Okay.
I don't know if you've read it.
For adults or
Yeah.
or for teenagers? Is there a teenage one? Is there?
Yeah, I think there's a couple different ones. The one that's just generally my favorite is just the main one. It's just called The 5 Love Languages.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But that's an amazing book. If you haven't read it, you should.
I have actually. Yeah.
Really
It
awesome.
is a good book.
Yeah. What did you think of it? What did you think of it?
I really liked it. I thought it was an interesting perspective on how to view how people might receive love, and it just a kind of a way to think about giving love in a way that somebody needs it rather than how you want to show it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's cool because you start realizing other people's love languages, especially in movies, which is interesting. You start picking it up in movies, the characters, and you're like, I know what your love language is.
Yeah, and you're like, no, you need to do this to her or to him or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, well, this has been great. So do you see any other races in your future as well?
Yeah. I really like running, and I just like the challenge, and so yeah, probably. Mm-hmm.
If there was something that you would just say to somebody who, maybe got invited to do something like what you did, what would you tell them?
Do it. Don't say no, just do it. Even if it's scary. Yeah, even if it's scary, even if you think you can't do it, you'd be surprised at the human will and how many things you can do that you don't think you can.
That was my conversation with Mazey. As you heard, she doesn't have any social media, so just send love her way. Gratitude that she shared her story as an awesome, brave 17-year-old. I absolutely loved talking with her. And after we had our conversation, she decided she wanted to interview me. That was really sweet. So we're going to do an episode where she's interviewed me. Stay tuned for that. If you haven't subscribed to Feminine Will wherever you listen to podcasts, please do that now so that you can get episodes every single Monday. And share this with one friend right now. Who needs to hear this message? Who needs to know that they can do whatever it is they put their mind to, and that it really is about just moving forward? This is a tough time for a lot of people. But there are a lot of people who are also kind of finding some grounding in the fact that things are different than normal. And regardless of our circumstances, we can find opportunity in tough and dark and low times. So I just want you to know that I am thinking of you. I am grateful that you're here listening. And I hope that every episode you hear uplifts and inspires you. And that by so doing, you can then share this with somebody else, and that as you get uplifted, that your light will shine for others. All the music brought to you by me, Andrea Belita. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you next Monday.